So you're looking to become a medical science liaison. Well, if you want some traditional advice, you can feel free to stay for this video. But if you want some non-traditional advice, then I suggest you not only stay, but you listen very closely. Hi guys, thanks for tuning into my channel, The Professional PhD. I am Dr. Viola Lanier, and I am a medical science liaison, former field application scientist who's been working in the medical industry for quite a few years. And I originally got my start out in the scientific industry. And let me tell you, I may not be the perfect person, but also I am the perfect person to give you the non-traditional ways of how to become a medical science liaison. Trust me, at the beginning, I followed all the traditional advice, and timing is everything. So I am not knocking traditional advice because a lot of times it does work for a lot of people. But there's a good amount of you that's out there that is literally like dreaming about this career and putting all of your eggs in one basket to get into this career. And I want to give you more ways, a few non-traditional ways that may be helpful for you in landing your first medical science liaison role. The first thing that is non-traditional that you can do to become a medical science liaison is to become a field application scientist. What is a field application scientist, you ask? Well, if you are not sure, you can watch some of my other videos that literally probably consume a lot of this channel. It's about what a field application scientist is, the roles, the type of work that they do, how to become one. I spent several years as a field application scientist, so I have quite a bit of experience, and I've been able to share a lot of tips on the role in of itself. And I now say, as a medical science liaison, that it is and was one of the best careers that I chose in order to prepare me for the current role that I have. It's prepared me so much, not only with knowledge, but with the connections that I have and with the information that I've been able to gather from other people. And so I would say to look into the field application scientist role. And I would also say, become a field application scientist if you are trying to become a medical science liaison and you realize that your profile is just not getting through to a lot of recruiters. If you realize that you are having interviews and it just doesn't seem like you're stacking up, then they're looking for more. Not only the recruiter, but the hiring manager, when you get in front of someone who's like, let me see how she stacks up or he stacks up, they're looking for more in your background. And the field application scientist role will probably provide you with a lot of that more. And if it doesn't even provide you with a lot more of the knowledge, it will definitely provide you with the contacts. Trust me on that one. We'll get into that in a minute. The second non-traditional thing that you can do to become a medical science liaison is to talk about it. Tell people that you want to become a medical science liaison, the people at your job. Like, I'm not sure what you do, but if it's anything within the science or medical realm, then talk about it. Tell them. And the reason why is because word travels. I never forget, I used to be a little bit insecure about telling people because I didn't want them to think that I wasn't happy with the role that I had, or that I was like just here just to like kind of like grimy. Eventually I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna be an MSL. Like I thought too much about it, and I'm giving you advice. Do not do that. Once I started telling people and talking to people about it, like I think I told my former boss at an interview, the initial interview that I had with him, like that was my future goal. And the role was for a field application scientist position. I could have totally just like destroyed that whole interview by focusing on a role that wasn't for me. I don't suggest doing that at an interview. But for some reason, something in me said to talk about it. But anyways, he never forgot that. And so that was very beneficial for me later on. And I'll make more videos to tell you how, but I'm just letting you know that I suggest that you talk about it. You make people aware of it, because usually those people are not going to forget. And a lot of times they may help to align you with the right people or the other roles that will get you into the MSO role. The third non-traditional piece of advice I have to become a medical science liaison is to not get sidetracked. What do I mean by that? I want to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not knocking other opportunities, other careers, roles, or whatever. I'm not. But if you want to be a medical science liaison, and if you want to sit in an interview where people directly see your passion based off of the paper in front of you, or paper in front of them, then they need to see that this, or the things that you've been doing, has led up to this. It's led up to me saying, yes, I want to hire you as my MSL. So you have to be very careful. Do not get sidetracked. Do not get sidetracked with a lot of opportunities or other opportunities that are just off the beating path. I don't want to name them because I don't want anybody coming for me like, oh no. Okay. You think about what sidetrack could mean. And especially if you've been in an interview to become an MSL, you kind of know like the things that probably wasn't helpful, or the other reasons why maybe someone else got the role. And especially if you followed up with a recruiter and you found out, well, why not me versus whoever else they hired. So I can talk about that so much, but I do want to be careful and sensitive to the fact that other people may actually be in a role that they feel like they like, and they chose it for a reason. My advice is just don't get sidetracked by choosing a role that is not going to lead you straight to the beaten path of an MSL role. My fourth and last non-traditional advice on how to become an MSL is to stay connected with the people that you worked with in your past roles, especially if you do become a field application scientist, or you were a field application scientist, or you were in marketing, or you were in anything that dealt with industry. I would say stay connected with those people, because if you were talking about the fact that you wanted to be an MSL and you were not necessarily sidetracked all the way to the left of some role that was not going to lead you to the MSL role, and if you are or will be a field application scientist, let me tell you, those people that you stayed connected with, they are going to remember your resume. They don't even need a paper. Your resume is in their brain. Your experience is in their brain. Your passion is in their brain. And who are they going to think of? You. Okay, so you have to know that there are non-traditional ways that you can get into this role. The truth of the matter is, all four that I explained to you are all four things that I didn't strive to do. It just was the way my career journey panned out. And the truth of the matter is, you know, a lot of times they say you learn by experience. I couldn't have predicted this. Especially at the time when I knew I was giving all that I had to become an MSL. When I first got my PhD, I was giving all that I had. And even not too long after I got in my first role, like, I couldn't figure it out. I did see a lot of the traditional advice, do this, do this, do this. Okay, great. I get it, but tell me more. Hopefully, the more that I gave you can be helpful in opening up another set of ideas, another set of ways that you can pursue this medical science liaison role. That's the goal of this. It's really to allow you to expand the way you're going about obtaining this career. And it's possible. It's possible. I use myself as an example, and I would say one of the biggest things is stay patient, guys. If it's for you, it will be for you. And I would say one of the biggest things that I will never forget, and one of my friends used to say this a lot, is that we just got to get in the industry, because once we get in, we're in. And I can't wait for you to get in. If you like this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up. And most importantly, stay with me on this journey, because I plan on putting out a lot more videos in regards to Medical Science Liaison, my role currently, as well as tips when it comes to just being in the medical industry, and advice when it comes to being in a medical and scientific industry, or being a field application scientist. So guys, I thank you for tuning into this video, and don't forget to subscribe. It's a tongue twister, but subscribe to my channel so we can stay connected. I hope to connect with you again soon. Bye.